Hey there, Chef D Malfi here, and welcome to Plant-Based Made Easy yet again. Welcome to the show. I'm so excited that you're here. Happy Friday, wherever I'm finding you in the world. This show is all about making plant-based living and eating super simple. I feature 1 or 2 recipes a day out of my monthly Plant-Based Made Easy cookbook. The September cookbook is hot off the press and ready for you to download if you want it. And each of these recipes are easy, they're healthy, and they're delicious. These are my 3 promises to you because I want to keep it that simple. I want you to feel competent and confident in the kitchen so that cooking is fun again, right? I'm a chef and I'm an integrative nutrition health coach. So if you have questions about health, healthy eating, about plant-based living or eating or cooking, or anything related to cooking in general, I can be your support and I want to be. So type your question, your comment into the comment box, and I'd love to say hello to you and answer your concern. Hi, Marie. I'm really glad that you're here. And if you do join us, let me know where you're joining us from today, will you? Because we are building a global community. People from all over the world, you guys. I'm here in the United States in Southern California, but we have people from all over: Thailand, Abu Dhabi, India, Spain, France, Russia, England, and the list goes on and on, all over the United States as well. I am so excited. I feel like these recipes are exactly what you're looking for, and I know they're exactly what I want too. So without further ado, today is Friday after all, and because it's Friday, I'm feeling really excited to roll right into the weekend. It's been a very long week, and every Friday here on the show, we save Fridays for our sweets. Today, I'm gonna make a delicious dessert. I'm gonna show you how to make a peanut butter cup pudding. All right, so if you've never had a plant-based pudding before, you are going to love this. It's gonna rock your socks off, I promise. This pudding actually contains no sugar, no gluten, no dairy. It's really, really good for you. It's super high in protein, and it's going to leave you feeling full for a very long time, which means you probably don't have to eat as much as you might if you were having a dessert made with dairy, sugar, and gluten. So let's get right into it. I'm gonna make this peanut butter cup pudding with an amazing, one of my favorite protein ingredients, sprouted tofu. I love this stuff, you guys. I get this from Trader Joe's, and this is going to be the first ingredient that we'll talk about here for a second. So this is sprouted tofu. It's extra firm. This I love because it comes 2 in a pack. The entire pack is 15.5 ounces. That means each of these portions or bricks is about 7 or 8 ounces each, and it's really good stuff. We're gonna use 1 of these bricks to make my peanut butter layer and 1 to make my chocolate layer, all right? So the first thing that we need to do before anything else is we need to actually create what is called, a very chefy term, a bain-marie, all right? And so what this is, it's a water bath, and I have another screen here. This is my overhead kitchen cam so that you can follow along with me. Now, a bain-marie, you guys, is just a really fancy word for a very simple process. It literally means taking a pot and putting a little bit of water. I don't know if you can see the water. You can if I flick it, right? I have about 1 inch of water here. And then I grab my favorite stainless steel bowl. I'm using stainless steel specifically because you need it to conduct heat. Don't try to put a wooden bowl in here. Don't try to put a heat-resistant plastic bowl in here. It's really not going to work as well. Stainless steel bowl is going to be your best friend in the kitchen. These are easy to clean, they're easy to wipe down, and they're really easy to melt inside of a pot or over a pot like a bain-marie. You can't use stainless steel in the microwave though. So if you want to do melted chocolate in the microwave, that's another option for you. And you would want to actually take some chocolate chips and melt those 30 seconds at a time in a glass bowl, and then literally just mix it or use a spoon or a spatula and mix it up, add it back to the microwave another 30 seconds. But we're gonna do it right here. So get your water on a very high heat. I have it on full blast here. And for those of you who don't know, I'm just gonna show you my cooktop because I absolutely love this. This is actually really cool. This is a tasty one-top cooktop, and I'm going to put this on my Amazon influencer page. I'll talk about it more then, but I'm actually just showing you because somebody asked a question about it this week. It's actually all controlled by my phone or manually by a touch, and it literally is a quick induction cooktop. It really will boil water in less than, I think, 3 minutes, which is really kind of cool. So I have some semi-sweet chocolate chips here. For this chocolate layer, I'm gonna start with vegan chocolate chips. And I'm gonna use semi-sweet chocolate chips because this is how I can make sure that they're vegan. Don't try to make this if you want it to be vegan with white chocolate or milk chocolate because that is going to contain milk. And we don't want that. The way that you know if something is going to be vegan, like in terms of the chocolate, is you can look right on the ingredient label. So I'll read this to you. It's cane sugar, unsweetened chocolate, cocoa powder, soy lecithin, which is an emulsifier. That's it. It's kind of fancy, but it's and it kind of sounds crazy, but it's not. Vanilla extract and vanilla bean extracts as well. It says right on the label also it may contain milk because it shares the same processing plant as milk, but it really shouldn't have any milk in it. So I'm going to use 3/4 of a cup. And I'm really going to measure this out. That's 1/4. Here's another 1/4. All right, and because it's Friday, I'm just a couple more for good measure. There we go, 3/4 of a cup, that goes right in. So let this melt, and then you can do all the other things while we wait. Actually, I'll put this right here so you can kind of look at it the whole time, just in case you have questions. All right, so the next thing that I wanna do is I wanna get my sprouted tofu, and you can use any tofu that you want, but I'm gonna use sprouted today. I'm gonna get it in my food processor. So let's show you how I work with this. You can split it down the center, and no, this doesn't open it up right away. It just kind of takes the 2 bricks away. I'm going to grab a bowl. You're going to need to take all the liquid out of this. So take a bowl, and then you want to run your knife over the tofu just to open the package, and then let all of that water drip out. There's actually not that much liquid here. And a little bit of liquid in your pudding is a-okay, totally fine. So here, now we have a beautiful 7 to 8 ounce block of sprouted tofu. This stuff is so good. You guys, this is a perfect meat substitute. It's great for desserts like we're going to use it for today. It's awesome. Really, really user-friendly. So I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to crumble it up a little bit right into my food processor. This is just going to help the blade out, okay? You don't have to do this, but I'm telling you, you're just going to make it easier to mix this around. Let me grab my trash can really fast. All right. All right, now we need to actually add a little liquid to my food processor. You can also do this in a blender. So I'm going to use my plant milk. So I make fresh homemade plant milk every single week. If you want the recipe for this, and if you want to learn how to make it, I actually include this as a staple recipe. That's one of the categories in my September and all of my monthly plant-based made easy cookbooks. The staple categories include things like milk, yogurt, cheese, and butter. I show you how you can make these from scratch at home in literally no time with very few ingredients. It is so simple. You do not have to waste your money at the market buying these very expensive ingredients. Plant milk is actually, the price is increased by over 200%, the cost of what you can actually, make at home. So you can actually save yourself a ton of money just by making it from a few soaked raw cashews and coconuts is what I use. So I'm going to use 3 tablespoons of this. It's really not a whole lot. And I'm just going to pour it right into the blender. 1, 2, and 3. Now this milk tastes like regular cow's milk, I'm telling you. Doesn't it look like regular cow's milk too? I put it in these glass jars so I could be like transported back to the days of the milkman. Were there milkwomen? I wasn't around then, but I think there were milkmen and milkwomen. Maybe there were no women. Probably just milkmen, actually. I take that back. But we miss you, milkman. Now I'm making it in my home. All right, put that aside. And then I also want a flavor agent. Really important. I'm going to use vanilla extract. I'm going to use this kind of vanilla today. I'm using pure vanilla extract, which is alcohol-free. I really like this because instead of alcohol, they replace it with vegetable glycerin. Oh my gosh. I poured it and literally fell all over the table. And none of it got into the food processor. Take 2. Just kidding, we're live. All right, so let me pour it in. There we go. Like a teaspoon, right? No more than that. Doesn't matter though. You can't really overdo it. I mean, I guess you could if you added like a cup. Don't add a cup. Just add like anywhere between 1 and 3 teaspoons would be a-okay. All right, and that's it. We're going to add the chocolate chips here in a second, but let's mix this now. I'm going to place my food processor top on and then give this a lock. And what I'm going to do is actually just turn it on for a few seconds. Here we go. All right. I know you can't see this very great, but I'm going to move it so that you can see it now. Look at the consistency that we've achieved at this point. Just so you can take a look at it. It's kind of chunky. It's getting to the smooth-ish stage. It's going to get a lot smoother once we add in the chocolate. So let's check on this chocolate. And now's a really good time to take a spatula and actually mix your chocolate. The residual heat from the bottom of the pan is actually probably going to melt the rest of this. So you really don't need a lot of time to melt chocolate in a bain-marie. And I've received this question in the past, which is it better to actually melt chocolate this way as opposed to in the microwave? The quick answer is absolutely 100% yes, 100% of the time. I would highly recommend getting yourself a small pot if you don't already have one, and a stainless steel bowl if you don't already have one, and doing melted chocolate like this. It's going to temper the chocolate, so it's going to bring it to a melty stage slowly, as opposed to removing all of the water in chocolate in the microwave, which can burn the flavor of the chocolate. It also can really burn the texture as well. So if you've ever put chocolate in a microwave for like 2 or 3 minutes and forgotten about it and came back and you've seen like, you know, flakes of chocolate, like brown flakes, that's because it's completely burnt now. But in this way, we don't have to worry about any of that because look, it's just smooth as silk. Take a look. Gorgeous, right? This is fantastic. Now, what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to actually pour it right in to my food processor. And I want you to be able to see this as it goes in. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's do the other camera, Danny. You can see what's happening. It's kind of falling right in the center because it's all melty. I want to try to like achieve a little bit of this chocolate all the way around, okay? This is, again, going to help the blade out so there's no like glop of chocolate just right in one area. It's also going to slightly start to melt or break down the tofu. So you can see I'm like really kind of throwing it around the blade, or I'm like letting it fall around the blade. Drip down. All right. And because I've worked in so many kitchens for so many years as a professional chef, I am not going to waste a streak of this chocolate. I want every single bit to go into my peanut butter cup pudding. Every last bit in. I worked at restaurants all over the US, and some of the most important restaurants that I feel like, you know, had the most, you know, the most intense, I think, rents for the locations that they were working out of always like were kind of crazy about making sure not to waste any food. So anytime you were, you know, making something in a prep bowl, you would have to kind of show that the prep bowl was completely clean before you could actually bring it to the dish pit. I know you don't like really think about things like that unless you've ever worked in a restaurant and you understand, but that I think is pretty clean. Can't get any cleaner than that, right? Perf. Put this aside. What's that? I'm not going to lick the bowl. I'm going to let you lick the bowl, Danny. Danny asked if I was going to lick it, and I'm not going to embarrass myself today. All right, let's go. So I'm just going to just pulse this at this point. Okay, I want to pulse it so that I can stop it pretty easily and then open it up. And you want to actually make sure to go around the blade a few times. Do this a few times, and really we want to make sure that, again, I'm scraping the sides so that nothing is wasted. Yes, I am on my tippy toes because I am super duper short. All right, so let's keep it going. One more pulse. And I like the pulse function because it like whips everything into the blade and then it stops and everything kind of falls. And then it whips everything into the blade when you turn it on and it falls again. This looks really, really good. Oh my gosh, it's perfect. Let me show you. It's smooth. It's yummy. It's ready to show you. It looks like chocolate pudding. All right. Come on. That looks amazing. All right. So now I'm going to put this chocolate layer on the bottom of my cup, and then we will make the peanut butter layer. So I'm going to use these really beautiful pudding cups that I love. I got these at IKEA, but you can use anything. A mason jar, a really tall glass, anything would be perfect. Just make sure that you know that you're going to actually layer it in. Now, in a perfect world, I would actually pipe this in But for right now, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to like drop it down, and I'll show you how I'll make like an even layer. So I'm literally kind of like taking it and just like plopping it in with 2 spatulas. You can see how easy this is. This is fuss-free food, you guys. This is like a fuss-free dessert right here. It comes together easily. It's so delicious. This makes quite a bit of the peanut butter cup pudding. So just know that you're going to have a lot. You got to work it around the blade. I love this stuff. I love this stuff. I love pudding. I'm a pudding gal.
So does Cheryl.
Cheryl, are you a pudding gal?
She loves peanut butter.
Yeah, I'm a peanut butter fan as well. Obviously, you can save some of this. If you want this layered, you can do multiple layers. You can also know that this serves 4, but I'm turning it into 2. This looks fantastic. All right, the rest is just gonna hang tight for now. That looks great. Now what you can do is you can actually tap it down, and I'm gonna use a spoon like I would an offset spatula and just kind of run my spoon. And I really want to make sure there's no holes on the side. So like I can see a couple places where the peanut butter created an air pocket. But at this point, this looks really great. I'll do it again with this one so you can see. I'm literally just kind of like pushing it down and tapping it. Had to, sorry. All right. Now, this looks great. Chef's trick, paper towel around the edge. Paper towel corner around the edge. Now, chocolate layer, done. Ready? Put this right in the refrigerator. Let this sit and chill up, and then we will make the peanut butter layer. Yum. Danny, would you be able to go get a small Ziploc bag for us so I can show them how to do pipe? I'm going to pipe on the peanut butter layer so you can see the other way.
Outside?
Yes, please, in the house. All right, you guys are going to hear the studio door open and close. I'm sorry about that. Pause. Terrible noise. All right, let's keep going. I'm going to show you how to do the peanut butter layer now, all right? You don't need to actually even wash the food processor. You can keep it exactly how it is. Put it back on. I'm going to put it in front of you so you can follow along. For this, I'm going to use the other 8 ounces of my tofu. Again, I have my brick. I'm going to open it, and I really want to make sure that all the liquid comes out. Thank you, Danny. Here comes the studio door. Hang on. There we go. That was harmless. This is going to go right in. We got our brick here. This is a beautiful tofu. Throw it in. All right, now I'm going to add a little sweetener, but I'm not going to use processed sugar. I'm going to use a natural sugar. Today I'm going to use maple syrup. I love maple syrup because it is really, really delicious. And it also has some mineral micronutrients as part of the tree sap. You know, this comes right from the tree, and it's not processed really at all. They do filter it just so they can remove bugs and things like that, but it's really good stuff. It's very natural. I'm going to use 3 tablespoons of this. 1, 2, and 3. And then we do want, what's so funny, Danny? Danny's just laughing at me. I guess he thinks it's funny that my tablespoon is a little off. Okay, well, it's not rocket science. We're making peanut butter. We're making peanut butter pudding here, people. All right, so 3 tablespoons, however big your tablespoons are. It doesn't matter. All right, now we want a little bit of sea salt. The sea salt and the maple syrup, they're gonna work together in harmony to actually create more of a peanut butter flavor. Now, it might not seem like make a lot of sense, but have you ever made like a chocolate cake and a recipe calls for a cup of coffee? That's because the coffee accentuates the chocolate flavor. So it's not going to actually add coffee flavoring to the cake. It's actually going to actually enhance the chocolate flavor. The same thing applies with peanut butter. In desserts, we really need some sort of sweetener. Hopefully it's an unprocessed sweetener and salt, and it's going to bring up that peanut butter delicious flavor. Now, the last ingredient we need, of course, is PB, peanut butter. I'm going to use this good stuff. This is crunchy salted peanut butter. And this is with ground flax and chia seeds. Now, this is fancy pants. It is not actually that fancy. It's from Trader Joe's. And I didn't want the plain peanut butter because we get it all the time. And I was like, ooh, this flax and chia, I'll take it, right? Flax and chia contain a ton of antioxidants and iron as well as protein. So this is like protein with more protein, right? Peanut butter is a legume, not a nut. It's actually a part of the legume family. So it's more actually closer to like a bean or a pea or a lentil than it is actually a nut, which is kind of cool. So this is jam-packed with protein, and then the flax and chia as well. And in only 2 tablespoons, can you guess how much protein per serving? 2 tablespoons is going to give you 9 grams of protein. That's a whopping amount. So I'm going to use 3/4 of a cup here, and I am going to measure this out. I'm going to like really just use my 1/4 cup. Pop it in. You can use creamy or chunky, crunchy. I mean, it's not called chunky. I don't think that would sell very well, Daniela. I'm just talking to myself. It's called creamy or crunchy. This is crunchy. I like crunchy. I think it's going to add a nice element, like a texture element to the peanut butter too. So 3/4 of a cup, that went in. I'm just going to scoop out the rest. You can use any nut butter that you want too. So you can use almond butter, cashew butter, macadamia nut butter. Doesn't really matter. But there's nothing like peanut butter and chocolate, right? All right, that's everything for this layer. Pop it. Start it. Let's let it go first. I'm going to stop it there.
Question?
Yeah, let's do a question. This is from Christy. Hi, Christy. I'm so glad that you're back with us. I make my own peanut butter with a tiny bit of sea salt and maple syrup. Do I change the amount of syrup or salt that you then add to the pudding? It's a great question. I'm really impressed that you make your own peanut butter. Hold on. I'm very happy for you. I want to do that one day, and I'm going to start doing it in my Vita mix, which I have. It's like my high-speed blender. It's not this. If you use maple syrup that's peanut butter that's homemade with maple syrup and sea salt added, know that you can actually probably taste your maple syrup for sweetness. So you really want it to kind of like taste a little sweeter than normal maple syrup. So if that's what your homemade maple peanut butter tastes like, a little sweeter than regular peanut butter is what I meant to say, then you're probably good to go to not add any more sweetener. But it really doesn't matter all that much. You can actually make this by not adding any sea salt and no added maple syrup. Make it, mix it, and then taste it right before you actually pipe it into your pudding cup. And if it just needs a little bit more maple syrup right at the end, you can add it and just whip it again. So really, you're just looking for just a touch or a kiss of sweetness. All right. So I'm just going to wrap my spatula around this layer. This layer is going to be much thicker, right? It's not going to be melted from the chocolate. There's no really, there's not plant milk on this layer. You can add it though if you need it. Let's just pulse it at this point. This is looking good. Christy, I want to say something to you. You asked a good question yesterday. We were making or a couple days ago about the jackfruit tacos, I think. You asked, you can't use jackfruit because you're allergic. What's a good substitute? Did you ask that question? Because I have something for you. Please type it in the comment box. Did you ask that question? All right, I'm going to just make sure this is all blending up. I'm literally need to just keep scooping it around the blade with my spatula. I want to make sure that it's smooth enough for piping. This layer is Like I said, it's going to be a lot chunkier because of the no plant milk and no chocolate on this layer. And this is crunchy peanut butter. All right, I have a solution for you. Hang on, Christy. A couple more pulses here. All right, this is done. Okay, Christy, here's my solution for you. It came to me as soon as we were cleaning up. I want you to try to use artichoke hearts. When you make that green chili jackfruit taco, remove the jackfruit and use a can of artichoke hearts. You can drain them, and then you can literally shred them. Artichoke hearts, I don't know why I didn't think of it, are thistles. They're part of the thistle plant. And so because of that, the thistle plant and the multiple fruit, which is what a jackfruit is, they have like a pooled situation. They have like a pooled fruity texture. So that would be a really good way to actually make this taco taste the same. All right, look at this peanut butter layer. This looks so good. This is super duper yummy. It looks like peanut butter pudding. This looks great. Now I'm going to show you how I would pipe this in, and we are going to finish up. I'm going to show you how to make a homemade piping bag. All right, this is simple. Yeah, I thought you'd like that suggestion. I'm so glad. Try it. Let me know how it is. So here's a plastic storage bag. This is a sandwich bag, right? Standard size. You know, I don't love to use these very often, but I do use them for pastry bags. All right. And so go away, fly. I love you. I'm not going to kill you, but go away. All right. Open up your storage bag, and basically what you want to do is just grab your mixture and put it onto one side, one corner of the bag. So I'm grabbing my mixture and I'm letting it drop down to one corner. So oopsie, I just got peanut butter on our stand. I'm letting it just drop down to this corner of the bag. Oh, this looks so unbelievably yummy. I cannot wait to try this. The peanut butter pudding color is really luscious. It smells good. I wish there was, I hope that smell-o-vision is coming here in the quantum field that we're entering in. Oh my gosh. I love this digital space that we're in, and I know that it's different and new for most of us, but I am totally liking it. I love that I can just sign on and do this every day and provide my work to you right here in my kitchen, in my studio. Feels great. And show you all these cool tricks, like making a pastry bag. So I have now my peanut butter, hopefully on one layer. This was a lot of peanut butter. So I'm going to now close the bag, zip it good. Now I have the peanut butter on one side. I'm going to go for that corner, right? Because you can see there's none on that corner. The whole point is you don't want to actually just put it in the bag, because what you'll end up doing is if you have to like squeeze it down to one corner, you're going to lose some of the product. And remember, I'm very used to working in professional kitchens, so I don't want to lose the product. I'm going to take this corner now because that is like begging to be piped out of this corner. And I'm just going to take my kitchen shears. Make sure you have kitchen shears that are dedicated to the kitchen. And this is the last and final step, you guys. I'm just going to snip off the edge like a tiny bit. This little plastic corner goes right in. Now let's pipe and taste. Let me grab my chocolate layers out of the refrigerator. These are nice and cold. And we pipe. So here's how I'm going to pipe. I'm literally just going to make a beautiful spiral. This is fun to do for kids. So if you have kids at home or teenagers or anyone that's curious about baking, cooking, dessert making, this is a really fun step.
It's a big pudding cup.
It's a big pudding cup. That's because it's supposed to be for 4. But I've made it for 2. I'm only doing this because this full, just so I could use all the product. And hey, it's going to be really beautiful in our photo. Ah, yum! I think I need a little bit more right here. Okay. Perfect. This looks so good. Okay, I have peanut butter all over my hands. Let me just wipe. All right. This looks phenomenal. Now you could do chocolate shavings. You could do a little mint sprig, whatever, cocoa powder. But it's perfect just the way it is. What do you think? Peanut butter cup pudding You got your layer of peanut butter, your layer of chocolate pudding. This looks phenomenal. Let me grab a spoon because I have to quality control. This one is not as pretty, so I'm going for it. I want a little bit of both. Yeah.
A little bit.
Oh my goodness. Come on. That is divine. That's divine on a spoon. I just have to tell you, that's fantastic. I know that was a big bite because I had to get into that chocolate layer. Holy moly. You guys, this doesn't taste like tofu at all. It doesn't taste like weird. It tastes like regular pudding. You can tell it has a lot of protein though. It's very thick. It's creamy. Oh, it's so good. It's not overly sweet whatsoever. This is fantastic. Try this recipe. Try it tonight, right? Try it this weekend. If you do try it, take a photo and post a photo in our Plant-Based Made Easy Facebook group. We are 1,000 and more, growing every day, a world global community of people that are all plant-based curious or plant-based already and wanting to support other people on their journey. This is really, really good. Thank you so much for coming this week and for today. It was a wonderful day today. If you have the cookbook, check out the staple recipe that I add for this weekend. This weekend, I show you how to make Greek yogurt as the staple recipe. So you can do that this weekend if you want. It does take 24 hours to cure, ferment. And then join us next week, you guys. We're going to start next Monday with a beautiful breakfast because on Mondays we always do breakfast, a coconut mixed berry oatmeal. It is a wonderful breakfast. Definitely something you don't want to miss. So join us for more fun next week. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Remember to stay positive, stay above it all if you can. I love you all so much, even though I haven't met you. And I'll see you on the next one. Ciao for now. Bye, guys.